Okay, I just went to the farmer's market today and I clean all my vegetables right after I go grocery shopping or I go to the market. These are all organic vegetables, but regardless, across the board, I clean everything. I have my summer squashes in here and I get a big bowl of vinegar and water. About 3 gallons of vinegar to a cup of water. Oops. 3 gallons of water to a cup of vinegar. I just use this big old thing of vinegar. I use it for cleaning all across the board. Stainless steel, anywhere you use Windex windows, your microwave, your stove, countertops. It's fantastic. Kills germs. And I just have had these soaking in here for about 20 to 30 minutes. And these are all my hard vegetables. Now, softer things like cucumbers, I'll just do a minute or two. You know, it depends if they're got a wax coating. For ones that have a wax coating, and this baby is from Whole Foods, and it's organic, but it also has a little wax coating. And I'll put that in there for much longer. Fruits and vegetables in general, especially the non-organic or the conventional ones, have pesticides, fungicides, herbicides, waxes, sprout inhibitors. Sprout inhibitors are big on things like rice and beans. But even foods like tomatoes will have sprout inhibitors. If you ever get a tomato that sprouts, you know you had a fresh tomato. Celery is part of the dirty dozen. If you don't know what the dirty dozen is, you should look it up. And now the EPA is also recommending that kale be eaten organic and blueberries. Generally, the soft-skinned fruit should be eaten as organic. I take these and I put these in a little bit of water. Now, things like sweet potato greens, I will just cut the ends off of them. Sweet potatoes greens are great. They're very good for cleaning out the intestine. People that have the big pot bellies, a lot of times that's impacted fecal matter. Pretty nasty, huh? Diverticulitis is one disease, but it's caused by impacted fecal matter, which causes little pockets in the colon. It's also caused by dysbiosis, which means a dysfunction in the microbiome or the bacteria levels in the gut as well. Things like Crohn's disease and a lot of GI issues. And even they're finding mental health issues are caused by some levels of dysbiosis too, but that's another video. I take all my vegetables and then I stick them in water for juicing. I like to juice the sweet potato stems, this part down. I do that with most of my greens, and then the top part I'll saute up with a little water, a little oil. Sweet potato greens are fantastic in a quiche. Most pesticides come from the organophosphate family. These are things that the same sort of food that was used for Agent Orange, that was used to kill people over Vietnam, which is pretty sad. The most at-risk population for pesticide exposure are children and moms, basically. And this means children that are in the prenatal stage, the fetus stage, infants, all the way up into preschool level to about 7 years old. It's a very sensitive time. These children get more pesticides in their body because they eat more compared to their body weight. So they just have a greater exposure generally compared to their body weight, and their livers are smaller, so they can't detoxify it as easily. Also, breastfeeding mothers are more sensitive to pesticides, and pregnant mothers, and in general all women of childbearing years, which pretty much means, and also preteens. So for a female, starting from the time she's 13 to menopause, she should really be on an organic diet. It's much more important than males. You know, of course, males, their sperm and their genetic contribution to children is also affected by their diet. So that's another story. But today we're just kind of talking about the fruits and vegetables and how to get the pesticides off. And children, a lot of studies have shown that children have a lower level of pesticides in their bodies when they eat organic. One study shows that switching children of preschool age years to an organic diet reduces the level of organic phosphate metabolites to a non-detectable level. But then when they put the children back on the conventional diet, then the metabolites of organic phosphates are again detectable. So that just shows you right there, things are stored in the body and it's directly related to diet. Now, organic vegetables are more expensive, but I find going to the farmer's market, if I spend 50 bucks at the farmer's market, that's about 3 medium healthy meals, just mid-range meals for one person. Whereas I can buy as much vegetables, like look at all this. And I also bought some fancy things too, like duck eggs at the farmer's market, which my son loves. If you get eggs at the market, you can ask if they've been completely washed or if they have just been spot cleaned. If they're just spot cleaned, they have something on them called the bloom, and then you can leave them actually out. You don't have to put them in the fridge, and they'll last a really long time. Eggs in general last much longer than we think. The eggs, all those eggs you get at Christmas, the eggs from the chickens didn't go into increased production all of a sudden because it's Christmas time or holiday time. They save up those eggs. So, my mom's always like, your eggs are out. I know, Mom. They last out for, you can leave eggs out that you get that have even been washed for about 2 weeks. But if they still have the bloom on them, what it is a microbial coating or bacterial coating on the eggs that prevents rot and decay. So I have these here. And that's about all I have some light greens. I just dipped those in the water in the strainer and then pulled those out. I'll change the water out between vegetables. I wash the sweet potatoes and I change the water out. Leafy greens, even organic ones from the farmer's market, you can see the dirt floating on top. And even oils and waxy films and things, just particulates from the environment come in and settle on vegetables. I have these beautiful squash blossoms, which I have some vegan ricotta cheese made from just almonds from Kite Hill. I just got from Whole Foods, and I'm gonna mix that with a little lemon juice, some thyme, stuff it in here, and eat those on a salad. Now you could go further and make them the Italian way and dip those in tempura batter, or I just like to do a light coating of tapioca flour and deep fry them, or pan fry them. That's good as well. I also got some sunflower microgreens. These don't have any biocides, which is really great. Sunflower greens are fantastic because they're very high in calcium, which breastfeeding mothers and generally all women, especially if you're can't think of the right politically correct term. Basically, if you're white, you have higher needs for calcium. You tend to have osteoporosis more likely. It's just a genetic thing. These are great from the farmer's market because they haven't been sprayed in chlorine. Most sprouts that you buy in the store, they have to, by law, even if they're organic, put them in chlorine to prevent bacteria from growing. But I'm pretty pumped about these. Oh! Who's a little prince? Who's a baby vegetarian? Look at all those. Say, I eat vegetables. What's this? A flower. Get that taste in your mouth, and pretty soon you'll be eating them. Just like mommy. Just like mommy. You like mommy? You like mommy? Yeah.